EBB. Welcome to Talking Eat TV, episode 8. We're back. It's another week. It's another Monday, which means it's Walking Dead Day. Y'all know back in the day, every Sunday night, as soon as Walking Dead go off, and I mean the second Walking Dead go off, you know, we were on my YouTube, on live, cutting the fuck up, talking shit. This is very much the same energy. This is what birthed this podcast, really. Now, chefs don't cook every day. Y'all gonna leave me alone. Not cooking today. Too much going on in my life right now, and I'm fucking hungry, and I need to record my show. It's Talking ETV, so I gotta eat and talk. Today I got a buffalo cauliflower pizza with a gluten-free buckwheat crust from one of my favorite vegan restaurants out here in LA. At some point, I'm gonna just make this everything from scratch and show y'all how to make this, but that's later on down the line in the future. So, let's get right into this episode. Of course, my full uncut reaction to Walking Dead Season 11, Episode 22 is already on my website, talkingeattv.com. My salt-free all-purpose seasoning is on talkingeattv.com as well. That is good for, really good on meat, good on vegetables. Little oil, salt, pepper, use my seasoning on some potatoes, roast them in the oven, stop it. We'll use my seasoning or more stuff in the future, but I just like to show y'all a different variety of food. So if you got some pizza, eat it with me. Now, what y'all gonna see me do to this pizza is break up the cauliflower and spread it completely even around the whole pizza. And I'm not gonna eat this whole pizza. I usually eat a third of it or half of it because sometimes it's more filling than others. I don't know why. But when you see me picking this apart and evenly spreading out like the cauliflower, that's what I'm doing, because I don't like the idea of crust. I think it's a waste of surface area on pizza. I need everything in every bite. So that's why. So yes, Walking Dead Season 11, Episode 22. Girl, let's talk about it, because it was so good. This intro, very fitting, you know. They started it off with Negan and reminded us of how far Negan has come. And y'all, that little intro was so good. When Judith said my dad wanted mercy to prevail, I was like, not Judith quoting Rick. Oh my God. Not Judith quoting Rick. We miss Rick so bad. I can't wait on him and Denia to do their little series. They said there's going to be 6 episodes. I can't fucking wait. And then it cut to everybody at the concentration camp that they're currently at right now. So, remember, at first they had separated everybody because they had wanted them to do some work in a very specific spot. But now they're moved to, like, the actual camp that they're going to be at or whatever. And the warden, as I'm going to call him, the Commonwealth soldier that's running that place, I don't know what his name is, but I'm going to just call his ass the warden. So when y'all hear me say the warden, that's who I'm talking about. Hold on, I need to adjust my leg. Okay, there we go. So, I'm going to call him the warden. So, when I say the warden, that's what I'm talking about. Now, y'all, they started off with everybody at this concentration camp at prison that they're working at right now. It don't look as bad as that damn train yard or wherever they was at first, but nonetheless, they still prisoners. So, Negan and them already plotting. Of course we're plotting. We're not trying to stay prisoners. We're trying to get the fuck on. So they had been counting the soldiers and they shifts and making sure they knew what time they was coming and going. They had knew everything. And then Negan low-key kind of blew that plan by asking about his wife, when really what he was supposed to be doing was giving Ezekiel that map. Ezekiel kept telling him, give me the map, give me the map. And Negan just went over there and started talking to that Commonwealth soldier. That ended up beating his ass and Negan ended up getting tag teamed by the other one. Now, you know, in the name of Glenn, I love Negan slander. Whenever Negan gets slandered, I'll be like, yes, he definitely do deserve it. I will never feel bad for Negan for getting his ass beat or being slandered. We love Negan slander. I always say at this point in the story, it don't make sense for Negan to die, and it really don't. But they almost had me in this episode. They played this one real good. This pizza got arugula on it. It's so good, y'all. Sorry, I'm trying to get a good angle with the microphone. We got to get that ASMR in. And feel free to go back on my channel and look at my YouTube lives from years ago. So funny, so good. Between my reaction videos and my lives, that's how we built this community that we got right now. And we're only going to grow, right, you guys? We're only going to grow. So, yeah, Negan got his ass whooped soon as the episode started. They didn't waste no time beating Negan ass. This was not a Negan-centered episode, but he got a lot of screen time in this episode, whereas in the last couple, it was Carol and Daryl. Which I don't mind. Carol and Daryl was in my top 5 all-time Walking Dead characters. So, Negan and them is already plotting. I like that all of our people that are prisoners are together. But I would just like to take a moment to say, bitch, they got Nabila. They got Nabila. They got Nabila. Oh, I was so through when I saw Nabila. Y'all got to see my reaction video. I was not playing about Nabila. Like, I was so sick when I saw they had Nabila. It's crazy. I didn't even know they had Nabila. All this time, I'm thinking Nabila is at the motherfucking Commonwealth. But I should have thought about it because they took all the kids. But it was crazy because the kids was with Daryl. And they had kind of got the adults separately. It was a whole thing. They didn't show how everybody got captured, but so upset they got Nabila. We must protect Jerry, Nabila, and the kids at all costs. This piece of good today. Sometimes when you go out to eat to a place that you like, it's not always good every time. Like some days you be like, oh yeah, this shit ain't never been better. And then some days you be like, damn, did I get this from the same restaurant? What the fuck? It's good today. And I'm happy. So, Negan, Ezekiel, Magna, Kelly, Nabila, all they ass plotting. So basically, all the Luke people is in the concentration camp except for Connie and Yumiko, obviously, because she in court. And Luke, which we're going to get to that. Surprise, surprise. So, after they show Negan intro and then them in jail, they come back to Jerry and them. And Jerry and them, on their way to Oceanside, Jerry, Aaron, Elijah, and Lydia. Ooh, this arugula extra bitter today. Ooh. Ooh. And what's I gonna say? This piece is so good. Anyway. So, and this pizza, I got the vegan mozzarella, pesto, arugula, and the buffalo cauliflower and the gluten-free buckwheat crust. This is so good. I really just need to make this myself because I know how to make pizza dough. Damn sure know how to make pesto. I made that for y'all already. And I actually do know how to make vegan mozzarella, but probably what I would do when I'm making this for myself is just buy the vegan mozzarella. And it's easy to make buffalo cauliflower. One day I'm going to recreate this whole pizza from scratch because One day I'm not going to live in LA and I ain't going to be able to go get this. And if I made it at home, it'd be even better. So, Jerry and them still on their way to Oceanside. And I don't remember at what point that they showed this. I can't remember. I think it might have been the first time in the beginning of the episode when they cut to Jerry and them. But Elijah is obviously worried about Lydia. Completely fine. That's okay. But what got me is Lydia had killed a walker, and Elijah was like, that could have been a climber. First of all, love a new name for walkers. You know, we've heard many over the years. And he was like, that could have been a climber. And Lydia was like, I knew it wasn't. And he don't want her to get hurt. He's just worried about her. And I'm hollering. I'm loud in my reaction video. I'm like, if it's anybody's opinion to trust on a walker, it's Lydia. Like, sir, I know you're worried about her, but she literally was raised with walkers and have lived with walkers for the past decade in the post-apocalyptic world. Everybody has dealt with walkers and experienced walkers. She lived with walkers. That is a completely different experience. She lived with walkers and pretended to be a walker for at least the past 10 years. How many years? Alpha didn't become Alpha right off bat, but Lydia was raised on walkers, which I need to actually finish Tales of the Walking Dead. I only watched the first one, and I know D is the third one, and that's really the only one I'm excited about. That first one, I didn't like it. So all of the enthusiasm I had to watch them completely disappeared after that. But I definitely need to watch the Alpha one. And why the fuck in this episode they reunited with Luke? Y'all, they was out there in the woods and Lydia was like, you know, they heard some noise and Lydia was like, that was human, that wasn't Walker. And I'm like, oh, bitch, who in the woods? No, who in the woods? Luke and his girlfriend is alive. Luke, y'all, we ain't seen Luke in about a season. It's been a while since we seen Luke. I exaggerated my reaction. I was like, we ain't seen this nigga about 2 seasons. I don't know how long it's been, but I feel like we ain't seen Luke since the Pikes. I don't know. We ain't seen him in a long time. So it was good to see him. I know he was doing some shows or movies or whatever. I know he was doing some stuff outside of Walking Dead, so I don't know if that influenced him not being on for a while. But Luke is back, y'all. It'd be nice to have another real positive person out because you know Luke is real positive. So that's some good energy to have around. And yeah, just good vibes. So Luke and his woman is alive. And as soon as I saw them, I'm like, okay, is everybody at Oceanside dead or alive? We don't know. We got Luke and his girlfriend. What is her name? I know her name when I hear it, but I don't know why I can't remember it. I want to say it started with an L, but I don't know if that's... No, it's not Rachel. Rachel was the girl who flipped off Tara when she was a little girl. That was Rachel. But, so, Luke and them saw Oceanside being taken over by the Commonwealth. And I am so happy that Luke and them ran into Aaron and them because Aaron and them didn't run into the trap. So, I still don't know if everybody at Oceanside is dead or alive, y'all. We still don't know. So, I'm still worried. I know it's definitely a situation where it could be like Alexandria from the description that Luke gave, that the Commonwealth literally turned it into an outpost, long story short. But I'm just still scared about that part from when Lance flipped the coin. Like, what was flipping the coin? You gonna kill them all? Or there's gonna be an outpost? Like, I genuinely don't know. So, everybody is up to speed on Oceanside. But they don't know, that group don't know that the same thing has already happened at Alexandria. They did it at Alexandria before Oceanside. So, it's crazy. It was so good to see Luke. So I don't got to ask where Luke is. Still want to know where Heath is. It's quite a few people, especially since this is the end of The Walking Dead. You know, we got to talk about people we haven't seen in a while because the story is wrapping up. Sonequa Martin Green, her husband in real life. I know his name in the show. I know his real name is Kenrick Green, but what is his name in the show? Y'all know I be going back and forth between people's real name and their show name. He completely disappeared in Walking Dead. He never got killed. I don't know where he at. So, Diane, I don't know where she at. He's been gone for literally half of the series, not half of the season. He's been gone for half of the series. I know they had some implications of where Heath is, but we don't know where Heath at. And it was crazy. So then they cut to the court case, right? When I tell y'all, I was so irritated with Pam. Now y'all know, in the comic books, if you don't want comic book spoilers, you shouldn't be watching me. I literally read the comics with y'all. You didn't even have to buy them. You could have listened to me read them for free on live. In the comics, Michonne was the judge. Carl was the defendant. Herschel was the plaintiff. That is a fucked up scenario, but it was so good in the comics. This judge now obviously ain't got shit on Michonne. And so when I'm watching the court case, I'm like, this would have been so good if Carl and Michonne was still in the show. You know, we'll never forgive Mr. Gimble for killing Carl, but that's another conversation. So they cut to the court case, and Pam is putting on a show. Putting on a motherfucking show. She up there on that podium crying. Now, the thing is, of course, she's devastated about her son's death. But she really put on the show and was boo-hoo crying on that, not the podium, when you go sit up at the thing in court. You know what I'm talking about. She was really, bitch, on stage putting on a show, crying in front of them people at court. I was like, the audacity of her. Oh, y'all. The whole court case, I'm hollering at the TV. Because we didn't get to see the whole thing. I'm hollering at the TV like, what about all the missing people? Y'all had all the paperwork. We didn't get to see the fucking court case at all. That is a disappointment. The court case was such a big part of the comics, and I will accept the trade-off because in the show, we got to see how the Commonwealth works and got the court case. In the comics, you didn't get to see how the Commonwealth works like how we really got to see it in the show. So I will take that trade-off. But in this episode, I did want to see more of the court case because I just wanted to see Pam's face when Yumiko was spitting facts. Like, nah, bitch, this. Where's all these missing people at? And this happened. And they showed us when she talked about the lottery. And I'm like, girl, fuck that lottery. What about the missing people? But I know that was supposed to get to the jury. Pam blew the fuck out of me. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I already knew Pamela was gonna win the case just because she's Pamela and she got the Commonwealth wrapped around her finger. But she had the audacity to channel that sadness of her son being dead to use that against us in court. Like your son ain't get himself killed. Like, I'm like, did nobody talk about how he pushed that walker? He pushed Max into that walker so she could get bit by it. And Eugene threw the walker off of Max onto Sebastian. And everybody in the crowd watched and didn't do anything. And Judith put the walker down. Like, nobody's, like, I really wanted, I didn't even want the court case to be long. I just wanted them few key points. I wanted to see them be talked about. Like, I'm sure they was, but I wanted to see them talked about. So, Pam already blew me playing her role. I'm talking about she up there. He killed my son. I'm talking about she putting on a proper show, making sure these people feel bad for her. And then, when Yumiko was talking about the lottery and how it's fake, and your son said it on tape, this would really blew me out the water. Pamela said the tape was fake. Even the people, the civilians was like, Yumiko was like, we all heard the tape that day. Y'all, the shit was crazy. Even the civilians was like, girl, she said Eugene altered the tape. Altered the tape, girl. Yumiko was like, you expect us to believe it? And she said, yeah, didn't Eugene admit to killing my son or whatever? I said, Pam, she is a proper pre-apocalypse governor, and it is insane to me. We heard the tape of your son, and you said it was fake. I have never seen a computer at the Commonwealth. They ain't got no internet. They ain't got no computer. They ain't got no software. What the fuck will Eugene use to edit that man's voice? I don't know, but that took me out, y'all. Took me out. Even before we got to that part, I want to say it might have been when they very first showed the court case. We knew off rip that the judge was on Pamela's side. It wasn't nothing to talk about. We knew that judge was on Pamela's side. Stone cold. Wasn't trying to hit shit Eugene and Yumiko was talking about. It was crazy. So, as soon as they showed that judge, I was like, yeah, we lost this court case. I didn't think they was going to kill Eugene, not going to lie. But I know a few people have complained about it, and I did a rant about this. I don't remember what episode of the podcast it was on, but I've seen people on Twitter complain that these last few episodes ain't good because they ain't killed nobody and all this other stuff. And I always hate it when people say shit like that about Walking Dead, because that just goes to show that you don't got no fucking attention span and you not invested in the show. Because just because it ain't no ridiculous action scene, because you know Walking Dead to do explosions and all kind of shit. Just because it's an episode that don't got explosions and choreographed fight scenes and a herd and people dying, that do not mean it wasn't a good episode. Like, do you not care about storyline and character development? Like, why are you even watching Walking Dead if you don't care about storyline and character development? Go watch a horror movie if you want to see people get slashed. Like, this is not a fucking slasher film. Like, I don't understand what more you want out of this damn show. You want everybody to die in every episode? Like, that's not the point of the show. And they have killed enough people over the years for 3 lifetimes. Like, fucking relax. I'm scared for everybody's life that don't got no spinoff show announced for them. And, like, I'm enjoying people not being killed because we actually get to have a fucking story, because it ain't no new people for me to get invested with. Every time y'all kill somebody, that's just one less person that I'm invested in. I'm not invested in none of the new characters. Connie is the newest character that I'm invested in, not gonna lie, but they've been around since Whisper War. But it's not serving the story to just be killing random people at this point. I mean, I got 2 episodes of Walking Dead left. No, I have not watched 11/23, and I damn sure ain't watched 11/24. Ain't nobody seen 11/24. But I get the episodes early. I just don't watch them early because I'm scared, and I'm trying to hold on to these last few episodes. I don't want to finish the show no faster than I need to finish the show. Like, I'm not trying to finish the show early, because once I'm done, I'm done. Ain't no more episodes. So, no, I have not watched 23 yet. But, yeah. 11/22 was so good. I done talked for 24 minutes already and ain't even really got into the episode. Damn, I should have poured me a glass of water. I'm thirsty. I'm going to eat one more piece of this pizza because I am so thirsty. But I'm full too. So once I eat this last piece, I don't want to make myself sick. By getting overly full, I'm going to eat one more piece of this pizza. Now, they cut to Carol and them. Now, you know, Carol, Daryl, Maggie, Rosita, and Gabriel. And Connie. I want to say them the six that's together in Alexandria. And they setting up they plan of how they finna get in Alexandria. And as soon as I found out they was in Alexandria, I instantly knew that our people were going to get in through the sewers. Like, come on. All that war, the sewer, Carl, how could you ever forget the sewers? So the sewers have saved our lives yet again. And I was happy when I saw Daryl go down there into the sewers and I saw that it was overgrown and there was walkers and shit down there. That's how I knew that the Commonwealth soldiers ain't been down there and they don't know about it. So I was so happy when I saw that the sewers is dirty and not maintained, because that's how I know the Commonwealth ain't been in there and they don't know about it. So they cut to Carol and them, and Maggie is still distraught. She don't know where her son is. She trying to figure some shit out. So Daryl and Connie went through the sewers, and Carol and Maggie went another way. They might have went through different sewers or somewhere, but I just know them two, they broke off in pairs. Daryl and Connie went one way. Maggie and Carol went another way. Rosita obviously wants to go because they got her fucking daughter, and she really wasn't taking no for an answer. And Carol was like, you and Gabriel is our best sharpshooters. Like, we really need y'all out here. And Rosita like, if it's more than a night, I'm coming in there. And Carol was like, okay. So Carol and Maggie going there. And I have been thoroughly enjoying the Carol and Maggie content because we haven't had a lot of it over the years. Like, we've had like Carol and Maggie together, like if the whole group was together, like obviously like Season 5, we out on the road, we all together. But as far as just one-on-one Carol and Maggie content, we have not really gotten that. The last real deal Carol and Maggie one-on-one content we got was when Carol set them bitches ablaze in that building when they had kidnapped Maggie and Carol, and Maggie was pregnant and they had to fight, and then Rick had came and got them. Y'all remember that. I don't know what episode that was, but I remember everything that happened. I don't know the episode number and name, but I remember the whole episode. So I have been thoroughly enjoying the Carol and Maggie content. And of course the Donnie content, because Connie was gone for a little minute. You know, she was doing some other stuff outside of Walking Dead, but Donnie, that is the only Daryl ship that exists. I don't care what nobody say. Daryl and Carol have been platonic since they met. Let it go. Daryl and Carol will never be together. They are siblings. They are best friends. They are family. They love each other, but it's platonic. I'm sorry. Y'all got to let it go. That ship will never sail because it's never been built. Anyway, now Daryl and Connie, on the other hand, every time they're in the scene, I'll be like, can you just kiss him on the cheek? Like, I just need a little affection. My love language is touch. So that's probably another reason why I be so sick when our people be separated. I'll be like, why are y'all so far apart? But yeah, so Carol and Maggie broke into one of our houses. I don't know which one, but they got in there. And I was so happy when they got in there. And I was thinking, as soon as I started thinking, is they really going to make it into this house? And there's not one Commonwealth soldier in this house that's going to see them. That one soldier had saw Maggie, and he comes stumping down the hallway thinking he finna get her. And of course, they knocked his ass up, tied him up, threw him in one of them little rooms. And Maggie was in the room trying not to cry so bad. It damn near sounded like she was hyperventilating. Like, Maggie was in there, like, Maggie is sick. She still feel like it's her fault that she couldn't protect her son. And it's just like, you are one person, girl. You are literally fighting the world, and you're just one person. So Maggie is still going through it at this point because she just want her baby, and she just want everything to be okay. And they cut back to Ezekiel and Negan and them talking to that boy. Now, I had forgot all about that boy because we hadn't seen him in a minute. Y'all remember that boy, I don't think it was the governor's ball, but that's just what I'm going to call it. That party that they had, but it was like around Halloween time, remember? And he had held somebody at knife point, and Daryl had went and got him, and then Daryl gave him to Sebastian to make him look like Sebastian is the one that called him. Y'all know him talking about the revolt. He was leading the revolt, or a big part of the revolt. I don't remember. But he's there. And I didn't recognize him at first. He literally looks scruffy, like he's been in jail. Like, he don't look exactly how he looked when he was in the Commonwealth, where he obviously had running water and all the amenities he could ever really want in a post-apocalyptic world. But I did not recognize him at first. Like, literally in my reaction video, I'm like, and then I caught on after a minute. But when they was first talking, I'm like, why is it like, who is that? And then it hit me like, that's the dude that was a big part of the revolt at the Commonwealth. And he obviously went missing along with a bunch of other people. So he's there. And Negan and Ezekiel was trying to talk to him like, get your people on our side. We could do this. And he like, you don't think we tried that before? Like, everybody just end up dead. And like, I'm not finna do this. So basically he said no. He was not finna help them. I was like, damn. So it was nice to see him again. They tied up that little end of the story. We got to see him and see where he went. And all the people just like him, they asses working for free. Prison, free labor. So if y'all remember, Negan had got his ass beat earlier. Ever since they got captured, Negan been getting his ass beat. And it's so funny because usually it's Rick that be getting his ass beat. You know, every now and then Rick be getting beat up real good. The governor is really the one that got Rick the worst. Shout out to Michonne for saving Rick from the governor, because the governor was going to kill Rick if Michonne didn't put that sword through the governor. So shout out to Michonne. But Commonwealth soldiers rolled up to the table and was like, come on. Boy, they took Negan to go talk to the warden, as I'm calling him, because I don't know his name, and the warden is just very fitting. And he had Negan little map. And I was like, fuck. Negan didn't go with the plan. He was supposed to give it to Ezekiel. And he didn't. Such a disappointment. So he found it, and that's how he knew that they was keeping track of the soldiers and stuff like that. And he basically wanted to know who it was. And, you know, Negan wasn't finna tell. So he didn't tell him. And even before that, when they was in the office, that Commonwealth soldier had got denied for a transfer. He can't go see his sick brother. And he was like, if you wanted a transfer, you should have asked me instead of trying to go around me. Now you extended him for 6 months. He probably went around you because he knew you wasn't going to prove him anyway. I felt bad for that black man, y'all. I felt bad for him. Because you got to think, a lot of these Commonwealth soldiers is not bad people. They're just in a bad position. So it's hard. It's hard. So, of course, the warden ended up using Negan's wife against him. Oh, and I forgot to say in the beginning, y'all, Annie is fearless. She out here riding for Negan. When they was beating his ass, she went over there and started fighting. Forgot about that. I just thought about that because I was bringing Annie up. Annie is fearless, y'all. It is crazy. It is crazy. And I'm happy that they didn't beat her ass, because that really would have showed if they were bad people or not. But they roughed her up. And then, thankfully, when we did see her, she was laying down in the bed. So, obviously, the warden was going to use Negan's wife against him to get information, because he can't use shit else. And I thought it was funny when the warden was talking to Negan. It was certain stuff that he said, like, a leader does this, a leader does that. And he was talking about how, like, they do bad things and stuff. And I'm like, woo, boy, you don't even know who you talking to. Negan done did some shit. You don't even know. I just love the way that they completely underestimate our people, because they've never met their match. The Commonwealth is by far the cockiest group of people in the post-apocalyptic world. They have never met their match, ever, but they met it with our people. And we're just a small clan. We're not even a community. We're just a small clan of people. Crazy. So Negan went in there. He let him talk to his wife or whatever. And Negan and Annie is cute. And she was like, what the warden say? And he was like, nothing you need to worry about. She was like, it was that bad, huh? I'm like, girl, yeah. He got to give somebody up or they're going to do something to you. I don't know if they actually would have did something to Annie, but like, obviously we can't take that risk. So it was crazy. But I was so happy when I saw that they had Annie laying in the bed. Negan came in there and touched her hand. She jumped. I said, ooh, girl, I would have jumped too because I wouldn't feel safe neither. So good. Negan stuff going on. Aaron and them. Our people at the Commonwealth. And our people at Alexandria. Like, we literally got 4 points of interest this episode. Like, oh, and Luke and them came from Oceanside. We still don't know what Oceanside look like. We definitely know it's an outpost. So now that Luke has told us it's an outpost, I got a little faith that they didn't kill everybody because they need somebody to work because they're not going to work. So, it was crazy, y'all. But Annie is fearless, y'all. She ain't no little pushover. She do not be going. I'm going to be ready to go to sleep after this. They went to showing Daryl and Connie in the tunnels, and you could tell that Daryl is very worked up, as he should be. They got his people, they got his kids, they took their homes, multiple communities. Of course he's worked up. He down there worked up, and I'm happy he got Connie with him because Connie is one of them few people that could calm him down. So that balance is real good. Because at first Carol was keeping him level-headed, and Carol is with Maggie holding her together because nobody can relate to Maggie in this moment more than Carol. So Connie is keeping Daryl level-headed, and I really love that. And I really wish she would just give him a little kiss on the cheek. Like, are y'all really going to end this series and not give me a Donnie kiss? Like, I don't appreciate that. Like, I need a Donnie kiss before the series ends. And is Connie going to be with Norman in his spinoff series? Are y'all going to deprive me of that? We know at some point Carol going to pop up from what Norman said. I don't know. Also, in every episode that I'm watching, I'm just waiting on the moment for Negan and Maggie to fucking disappear to New York. Like Negan, Maggie, and Daryl is the three people I'm just waiting on to disappear. I'm trying to figure out where the fuck the kids gonna go. I don't know. I'm just very confused about how everybody's gonna break off. Like, is it just gonna be one big ass fight at the Commonwealth and one big ass fight at Alexandria, and that's how people get separated? Like, remember how we all got separated on Herschel Farm when the Walkers came? Carol was running for her life, and Daryl just saved her in the nick of time from them Walkers. Because Carol would not have made it off Herschel's farm if Daryl wasn't riding on his motorcycle and got her. I love that scene. That's a legendary Walking Dead scene. Iconic. So, I don't know. After they show Daryl and Connie in the tunnels, they go back to Carol and Maggie in the house. Was that at that point? Maybe that was the point, because they showed them when they first got in the house, when he was in the hallway, and they had to knock out that soldier. Anne dragged him in the room, and Maggie's in there crying about her child. Or, when they went back to them the second time, was that when Maggie was crying about Herschel. I don't know, but they was bouncing all over the place. Y'all know I be trying to talk about the episode in order, but still be getting my main points across. This episode was good as fuck. Every episode of 11C is driving the storyline. Like, it's all about the storyline, completing the story. But it's still exciting. When I was watching this episode, I called this a suspense. You know how you watch a suspense film? This episode of Walking Dead was a suspense. Like, the whole time, I am literally in suspense. That's how this episode got me. All the while, this court case is still going on. And after Pamela did her acting on stage, acting like she really cared about the people of the Commonwealth, which we all know she don't. She just wants to keep the old world alive. Because she's not going to take her ass out and go garden, go build no cars, go do no manual labor. Oh, of course not. And anybody that got anything different to say, you could die or go to jail. They cut to Eugene. You know, they doing their little break from court or whatever. Eugene in the cell. And him, Max, and Yumiko is going through it. Trying to figure out what the fuck going on. And they all talking. Because obviously Max don't want her man to die. This was the first time we really got to see Max ever since she was talking to Mercer about how she's standing on what she's doing. And I'm still mad at Max and Eugene for going through with that dumbass plan and not telling nobody. Like, you really stirring the pot and you didn't feel the need to tell anybody. Like, I know you didn't know that the repercussions were going to be as big as they are, but you knew it was going to be something. Because they just wanted to kill Sebastian the day before. And then you're exposing him the next day at the biggest event of the year in public where everybody is. And you had all fucking night. As soon as Pamela got off work, you recorded Sebastian. Y'all had all fucking night and all fucking morning before the event started to tell somebody, and y'all didn't tell nobody. That just still blows mine. This shit crazy. So, they going through it. You know, Eugene is not being a coward for one of the first times ever. You know, ever since Eugene admitted to not having a cure, he had his moments where he really stepped up. And basically he was saying he made his bed and he laying in it. And I was happy to just see Eugene standing on it because I'm already mad at him for not telling nobody. But he's standing on it. And Max is just like, no, y'all not finna kill my man. And Yumiko was just like, what the fuck I'm gonna do? Like, they is just, I'm talking about, like, pacing, trying to figure out what are we finna do. So they like, I want to say it was Yumiko's idea to talk to Mercer. Because Mercer is revered in the Commonwealth. Literally, kids dress up as Mercer for Halloween. Mercer is revered and respected by all. Even if you doing your dirt on the side, you ain't gonna tell Mercer you doing your dirt on the side. Like, Mercer is revered and respected in the Commonwealth. So Max was like, he's not gonna testify against Eugene. Like, you can hang it up. He didn't even do nothing when they took Princess. I was like, so he know they got Princess. It was a whole thing. So Yumiko ended up going to Mercer's office. She said in his office waiting on him to come in there. He was like, you shouldn't be in here. And she tried to talk to him and get through to him. But if she thought he was not on her side in that moment, that's what she thought. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I always knew that Mercer was gonna help us when it came down to it because he's just that type of person. Like, Mercer is the only one so far that's being fucking smart about it. Unlike Max and Eugene, dumbass, who's gonna go against Pamela in her face and not have a plan together. Mercer actually has a fucking plan and is still pretending to be on Pamela's side. If Mercer would have testified against Eugene, his ass would have been thrown in jail too. Like, he would have been on Pamela's shit list just like everybody else. But if he's still pretending to 100% do his job, which, like he said, my job is to protect the Commonwealth, ma'am. Mercer is the only one being smart about it as far as people who were on Pam's side originally. Like, Max just went off of how she felt and didn't even make a fucking plan and didn't give a fuck what the repercussions were. Crazy. So, Mercer is the general. He got more strategy than that. So, I never thought for 1 second that Mercer was not on our side. But it did hurt my feelings to see him pretend to not be on our side to Yumiko. I was like, damn, Mercer. Like, I knew he was on our side. But to see him say that when she was like, they took Princeton, he was like, I know. I was like, Mercer, you know you love Princess. Whole time he got his plan like, I'm going to figure this shit out. But Mercer is the only one playing it smart right now as far as the Commonwealth people. His sister didn't know no better. It was the first time she ever stood up in the post-apocalyptic world, and she didn't have a plan. Bless her heart, she tried. Eugene should know better, because he actually been thugging out in the apocalypse, not sitting in the cozy community working a regular job. But he got coochie for the first time, so you know that got his mind fucked up right now. He not stable. So that really hurt my feelings when Mercer was like, I know. I was like, Mercer. I felt so bad. I always knew Mercer was on our side, but that hurt my feelings just to see him say that. Michael James Shaw is absolutely positively lovely as Mercer. We appreciate that man on this channel. And I really need to post my Fandemic Dead vlogs because I definitely met him. Energy is great. And it was the whole thing, y'all. So, I want to say this was maybe about the middle of the episode. I don't remember. But they go back to Carol and Maggie. Now, this whole time, ever since they first got in the house, they heard a child. I heard it too. And when I heard it, the first time I heard the child, I didn't know which child it was. I just knew it was one of our kids because I knew I had heard that voice before. I don't know if they was like, no, stop. I just know they made some kind of noise and said something loud. I was like, that's one of our kids. That wasn't a friendly noise that our kids made. It wasn't a laugh, chuckle, kids playing. That's not what the noise was giving. So, I done broke the little box. It's okay. I didn't know which one of our kids was. But when I first heard it, I knew it was one of our kids because I recognized the voice. And then we heard that child again. So Maggie and Carol is like, they heard it. So they go out of that little room that they was in and kick the motherfucking door in. Herschel got his hands tied up and they in questioning that child. Maggie instantly shot the man, obviously didn't hesitate. I want to say it was Maggie that shot first because Maggie is the one that kicked the door open. Of course, Carol was right behind her. Boy, I saw Herschel in that chair. I started hollering. I was so happy. I was so happy that we got Herschel back. But I was just like, damn, where the rest of the kids at? Y'all questioning this one child by himself. They probably was breaking the kids up one by one, taking them from the group, questioning them, trying to see what information they could get out of the kids. I don't know. But Herschel was so happy to see his mama. I was like, woo, thank you. Y'all don't need to hurt Maggie no more than y'all done already hurt her over the past 11 years because Maggie has gone through it very much so. I don't care what nobody say. Maggie has had it the worst in all the apocalypse because she not only had to lose everybody, she got to see it. Like Carol didn't get to watch Sophia get bit. Like Rick didn't get to see Carl get bit. Maggie had to literally watch her daddy get his head cut off with Michonne's sword. She never thought her sister was alive, and then that same day had to see Daryl carrying her sister's lifeless body. She was pregnant sick on her fucking knees in a lineup and had to watch her husband get his head beat in with a barbed wire bat. Like, y'all not finna tell me that anybody else in our group has had it worse than Maggie. She not only lost everybody, but every experience of losing them people was extremely fucking traumatic. Ridiculous. Crazy. Like, nobody has had it worse than Maggie. I don't care what nobody say. She had to watch the shit for everybody. Not only just lose everybody. It's next level for how they did Maggie. So if they was to take her child at this point, just kill her because y'all done hurt this lady so much. Leave her alone. So I was so happy that it was Herschel in that room because y'all done hurt her enough. Y'all don't need to hurt her no more. And I think it was at this point where Rosita and them had came in right behind them. And they was asking where's Coco. And he was like, he don't know where the other kids is at. So that made me mad because they not even keeping our kids together. They separated the adults and separated the kids because Herschel said he don't even know where they at. So they separated some kind of way, y'all. I don't know if they had them all in the same room and then took them out one by one, or when they first captured them, they took them to different places completely. I don't know, but whoo, it was so nice to be able to see Maggie get her son back because Lord knows she don't need no more pain and suffering for the next 5 lifetimes. She done been through enough. It was crazy. Piece of crumb stuck in my hand. They cut back to our people in jail, right? And Ezekiel trying to figure out what's going on, like talking to Negan, like, what did the warden say? and you know what's going on. And Negan didn't want to tell him. And I'm just like, Negan, why don't you fucking tell him? Like, at this point, I don't care what nobody say. I genuinely feel like Negan owe us his life. Like, any question that we ask you, nigga, answer the fucking question. Y'all know I always say, don't kill Negan at this point of the story just because it would be dumb for the storyline at this point. It would have only made sense for Negan to die when Rick slit his throat. But once Rick saved him, and we done been through all of this shit we done been through over the years, it would just be stupid to kill Negan at this point. So, even though I don't want Negan to die, I'm still gonna talk my shit because that's how I feel. And you know we love Jeffrey. So, I'm like, what? Like, and Ezekiel was trying to figure out what's going on. You know, like, we got a whole plan we trying to do. What the warden say. And Negan ain't want to tell him. And Ezekiel was like, bitch, fuck you, basically. Like, Ezekiel has been telling Negan about himself ever since they've been locked up because Negan and Ezekiel had never met and never had a conversation. Like Ezekiel said, he avoided Negan for years. But ever since they've been locked up and he's had to be around Negan, Ezekiel has not held his tongue at all. He's been very much telling Negan everything he wanted to say. He told Negan, you don't deserve to be a father. Straight up. You know, he let out a little bit of his frustrations and gave Negan just a taste that first time that they talked. Like, I ain't forgot about shit you did. You killed all my people. All that, you melted people's faces with irons. You coerced women to be your wife. Like, he already told him, I'm not fucking with you. I'm not playing with you. I'm only working with you because I have to, and I need to get my people out of the situation. So, when he was talking to him this time, and Negan ain't answer his question, Ezekiel did not hold back. Because, like, at this place, they could kind of talk a little more. Because these is different soldiers, too, than they had at that first place. I don't know, just, they could kind of sneak and talk a little bit more. Like, they actually have, like, it literally looked like a jail lunchroom. Like, when they were sitting down talking to their boy who was kind of leading the revolt back at the Commonwealth. So, it's more like jail this time. Like, that first place was given very much concentration camp. This place is giving more prison. So, they could kind of, like, fake talk to each other a little bit. And Ezekiel told him straight up, like, you took everything from me. And Negan was just looking at him. And Ezekiel was like, I could tell by the look at your face that you have no idea what I'm talking about. And Negan was like, I don't. And then he told him about Benjamin and Henry. And basically, you know, Benjamin died during all our war times, that time of the show. What was that, like season 9, I want to say? Benjamin died. 8? Middle 8? Beginning 9? 8, 9? I don't remember. Maybe 8. I don't know, but Negan, then he just gave that face like, oh, shit. Like, on a daily basis, Negan is learning about new ways that different ways he's affected people over the years from being the dictator that he once was. And I just love that. Like, Negan, yes, you're going to have to live with what you did, sir. Like, we're never going to let you forget in the name of Glenn and in the name of everybody else that died in all our war before. So, it was crazy. So, that got me, that part right there. That was a very, 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 that was a big part of the episode. Every Negan and Ezekiel conversation, I'm here for it. So good. Especially since they've gone literally the entire show, never meeting ever once. So we got to get it in at the end, right? So good. It's really effective for Ezekiel and Negan to meet at this point in the story. If Negan and Ezekiel had already met prior, it wouldn't have the same effect that it has now at the end of the show. But nonetheless, it is good. And when Ezekiel told him, you don't deserve to be a father, that really made Negan mad. And Negan was like, I'm going to do it for my child. Like, because, you know, Negan going to talk his shit regardless. But Negan did not like that when Ezekiel told him that. And I want to say Negan walked off after him and Ezekiel got into it at that point. And I was just like, damn, y'all was just doing good on the same page, trying to get us the fuck up out of here. So, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. At that point, I didn't know. I'm not going to say I don't know. But at that point, I'm like, damn, now y'all into it. We was just doing good for a couple of days. Working together, trying to get the fuck up out of here. But it was crazy. And then after that, they went back to Eugene giving his speech. Now, they went back. Well, he wasn't giving the speech at first, but they went back to the court case. And, you know, they like, does the defense rest or whatever? And I'm just like, Mercer, you ain't gonna help us? Even though I knew Mercer wasn't gonna say nothing. I'm like, Mercer, you ain't gonna help us? Somebody jump up and say something. Somebody testify against Pam. But obviously everybody is scared because they know if they do theirs, it's gonna be grass just like everybody else that tried to go against her so far. So, y'all ain't nobody say nothing. Ain't nobody help us. Yumiko was just sitting there like... And then Eugene was like, I want to say something. Yumiko was like, you know, she's scared that anything he say can and will be used against him. So Eugene stood up and he said his piece. And that was a very, very good and fitting Eugene speech. That was very nice. I really, really, really liked Eugene's speech. He gave a proper speech about how he ain't always been a righteous man. He ain't always been doing the right thing. He used to lie and scheme. And when he did fall in with some bad guys, he used to say back and not do anything. He felt like just because he wasn't the one swinging the bat, that blood wasn't on his hands. But he was like, blood is on his hands. So he was basically telling these people, like, I used to be like y'all. And I just decided to stand up one day. And that was a real good speech from Eugene. That was a real good speech. And even though we knew Eugene was going to lose the case anyway, that was a good speech to, you know, say his piece on that. And when it was like, do the defense rest? I'm like, okay, like, for real. Like, ain't nobody going to get up and say nothing on Eugene's behalf? Nobody said anything on Eugene's behalf. And once Yumiko said the defense rest, I was like, yeah, I know you ain't winning this case, Eugene. That judge said, find Eugene Porter guilty for murder, y'all. They said murder, right? I want to say they said murder. They did say murder, right? I don't know. Either way it go, I knew they was going to find Eugene guilty. No surprise there. I was just like, damn. Even all the civilians was mad. All the civilians was mad. And what made me mad was Pamela's fucking smug, pale, crusty face when she was walking off. I was like, oh, no, she thinks she got us. I can't wait for her to get hers because she thinks she got us. And they said he is sentenced to execution in 1 hour. I said, God damn, an hour? I did not know the Commonwealth did the death penalty, y'all. I honestly did not know. I knew they was going to kill him, but I forgot that he was going to go through a whole court case and then get executed. I thought they was just going to take him and kill him once he turned himself in. But he went and did the whole court case and execution. I'm talking about they gave that nigga the death penalty. Crazy. So that was crazy. They took Eugene and everybody's just like, fuck. Like nobody was happy other than the judge and Pam. Nobody. The civilians started running down the stairs and shit. No, boo. Like they was all mad. It was crazy, y'all. Then this is the part where I'm about to fuck y'all up. Well, y'all already fucked up about it, but we got to talk about it. I'm live in the chat right now. This video is not live. I'm not recording it right now, but I'm live in the chat right now doing it as a premiere so I can talk shit with y'all like we used to do for my Sunday night lives every week for Walking Dead. So, y'all, they cut back to our people all in jail or whatever, and they wasn't outside working. No. I missed the part. After Negan and Ezekiel had got into it, Negan had went back to the warden and was like, and the warden was like, I guess you got my information or whatever. And Negan was like, yeah, whatever. I don't remember, but he smiled at him. So I forgot about that part. When Negan went back to the warden, I love the way that they made it seem like Negan was going to give up Ezekiel. Like him and Ezekiel had just like, him and the warden had already talked, and he threatened Negan's wife, and he told Negan that he need to bring him a name of whoever is trying to lead this rebellion. And Negan hadn't said anything at that point, but I just love the timing that as soon as him and Ezekiel had got into it, that was when he went to the warden like he had some information. So it implied that Negan was going to give up Ezekiel. And that whole time I was like, I swear to God, if I literally said this in my reaction video, I swear to God, if Negan give up Ezekiel, kill him. Like, kill Negan. Like, I know Negan is on our side, but I love the way they played that because he was really mad when Ezekiel told him he don't deserve to be a daddy. Like, he was really mad when he heard that. So the fact that he had went to the warden, like he had some information, I was like, oh, hell no. I wish the fuck you would say it's Ezekiel. And, you know, Ezekiel got his head on a pike in the comics. So In the comic book world, Ezekiel been dead since the Pikes. He's outlived the comics, which is great. But because he was killed in the comics, he's not necessarily safe in the show. You know, I'd be scared for Ezekiel. So they made it seem like Ezekiel was about to get it. I was scared. So everybody was asleep, right? Everybody was asleep. And they flashed in the lights. Wake up! Making everybody get out their cots. I'm talking about they got bunk bed cots, y'all. Like, they out here thugging. It's crazy. They waking everybody up, got the lights flashing, yanking on people. And this is what really made me scared for Ezekiel. When they woke everybody up out their tents in the middle of the night, they let all of them walk out. Remember, we at Alexandria. The Wind Tower, like, we at Alexandria. So what got me is, because remember, they transported them from that train yard to California, that place that they had them working in the beginning when Kelly wouldn't eat up food, remember? So everybody is at Alexandria, basically, but it's just different groups they focusing on. Y'all, they let everybody walk out to where they told them to walk, but Ezekiel was the only one they was holding. If y'all look at the episode, Nabila was walking, Magna was walking, everybody is walking, but they holding Ezekiel, one on each side. I'm like, y'all, like, we not finna do this. I swear to God, if y'all kill Ezekiel. And if y'all notice, our wind tower, the windmill thing, down there where they had the lights flashing at about the height of somebody's head is literally blood against the wall. So y'all know they be killing people right there, splattering their brains against the fucking wall. So they had everybody outside, and the warden said that he said everything he said, like, y'all know what he said. And Negan basically gave himself up as the person that was leading the rebellion, which is the most selfless thing Negan has done in the apocalypse so far. He's like, went to save people and stuck his neck out, but this was a genuine, complete 100% sacrifice. He was ready to die for his wife and them. Like, he was ready to die. So that is the most selfless thing Negan has done in the whole apocalypse. It's not debatable at all. So that was crazy. So Negan ended up giving himself up. He didn't give nobody else up. And if you haven't believed this whole time that Negan has changed, even though we all know Negan changed, that should have really been y'all moment where, like, yeah, Negan changed. So that should have been the nail in the coffin for y'all that Negan changed. I've been knew that Negan changed, but that should be the nail in the coffin for y'all. Negan has indeed changed. So Negan gave himself up as the person that was leading the revolt. So obviously the warden was going to kill him. But, so Negan on his knees, first of all, it was given the lineup. The vibes, it was given the lineup. Negan was on his knees with his hands tied, bitch. In the dark, with a light shined on him. Oh, it was given the lineup. It was crazy. So they was about to kill Negan, but then the warden got the bright idea to put Negan's wife in it. So he had already made his separate deal with Negan. You know, bring me the information. I'll leave your life alone. Leave your wife alone. Blah, 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 blah. Negan gave himself up as if it was him that was leading the rebellion. And obviously didn't sell out nobody else. He just wanted to make sure his wife and his baby live. That's all he cared about. So everybody outside like, oh my God, they really about to kill Negan. And so Negan is sitting there and he ready to take it because he's already made that decision and made his peace that he's finna die for everybody. His wife and his child especially. And before they did it, the warden was like, there will be no martyrs. And then he had them bring his wife and put her on her knees. I said, I swear to God, if y'all kill this pregnant black lady, that'll throw me over the edge. Don't play with me. Don't do that, Walking Dead. I was like, I know we is not finna do this right now. It was so good to see Negan, King Dingaling, begging for his life on his knees. It was giving line up. Oh, it was so... Negan got just a taste of his own medicine in that moment. Because obviously they didn't get to go through with it. But in that moment, it was so good to see Negan get a taste of his medicine. It was giving the lineup. It was giving the lineup, y'all. Negan got just a taste of how bad he traumatized our people with just that one moment alone. Not including all the other shit he did. Just that one moment alone. So Negan on his knees. No! I'm talking about Jeffrey screaming. No! Not her! Me! Take me. Like, Negan is going the fuck off on his knees, begging for his life. You not finna kill my wife. Me and you made a deal. And really, the warden was stupid to me because he said there will be no martyrs. You're really about to turn him into martyrs if you kill his wife and his child too. So that part didn't make sense to me. There will be no martyrs. And then he gonna go get his fucking wife. Like, they're gonna be martyrs, especially now if you get to kill the pregnant wife. So that was crazy. So everything is heightened right now. The energy is, y'all, everything is heightened right now. Negan on his knees, begging for his wife's life. Annie is just over there, a fucking soldier. She just crying. She not begging for her life. She not doing no screaming and hollering. That lady is acting her ass off and not even saying nothing. Like, the facial expressions, everything. Like, she was just going through it, but she wasn't even saying nothing. She was just, it is what it is. Like, she just been doing all she can every step of the way. And she wasn't about to beg for her life. But yeah, it was crazy. So everything is heightened. And so he went from telling them to aim at Negan to me like, no, there will be no martyrs. Get his wife. Aim. And Ezekiel, I will not stand for this. You know Ezekiel. He can't just stand there and watch people get mistreated and not do nothing. So Ezekiel walk out there like, and Negan is like, it was either Negan or somebody else. They were like, what are you doing? He was like, I don't know. And Ezekiel was just like, wait, we don't got to do this. And when Ezekiel did that, I instantly knew everybody else was going to join in to help him as far as our people. I don't know how many of the other people were going to do it. But when Ezekiel did that in that moment, I knew our people was going to go. Magna went over there. Bitch, Nabila stood in front of Negan and his wife. Everybody was over there standing in front of Negan and his wife. And it was either Ezekiel or Negan that started talking to that soldier. I want to say it was Negan because Negan was in there when they had the conversation. Talking to that soldier about how you got a family. Yeah, that was Negan. He was talking to the soldier that whose transfer had got denied by the warden. He was like, you got a family. And I knew that soldier was going to be the one to end up helping us later. I knew it. That's why they gave us that little moment with his transfer being denied. He literally ended up saving us, bitch. So between him and our people, it was crazy. So everything is heightened right now. You know, you on the edge of your seat. Like, bitch, what's going to happen? So Negan, Annie on their knees. Ezekiel go over there. He don't know what the fuck he doing, but he know he can at least postpone the shit. So he over there. Then Magna, Nabila, all our people that are there stand in front of Negan and his wife. And the warden's just like, kill all of them. So they was aiming. And then the dude who transferred had got denied. They had already got through to him because he was like, this warden don't give a fuck about me and my family. Why would I kill somebody else's family for him who ain't even doing nothing? Like, of course they want to fucking escape. They're prisoners. Crazy. So he lowered his weapon, but then ended up being the first to shoot the dude and the Commonwealth soldiers. Like, it was a whole thing. He didn't kill all of the Commonwealth soldiers because some of them agreed with him, but that happened. Daryl and them pulled up, bitch. I'm screaming at this point. I don't even remember what I was doing in my reaction video at this point, but I know I was hollering something. Everything was just heightened. And in that moment, that Commonwealth soldier and Daryl and them pulled up, and I was like, bitch! Well, almost knocked my stove up. I'm hollering. And I'm just so happy because I'm like, what y'all not about to do is kill Nabila. That's what y'all not finna do at all. So that Commonwealth soldier and Daryl and everybody pulled up, saved everybody. And that was that moment. And it was so good. So now I'm happy. We got a few Commonwealth soldiers on our side. At least definitely that one that got his transfer denied and whichever couple didn't shoot. But they shot like one or two Commonwealth. Look at this cat. Come on, I'm almost done with my video. Give me a second. I got one more thing to talk about after this. And I don't want you to get no cat hair in my pizza. So, that moment was great. Everything was heightened. And shout out to that Commonwealth soldier that was like, this shit is not worth it. I'm not finna kill these people and their family, and you won't even let me go see my family and my brother finna die. So, yeah, I knew we was gonna get through to that soldier, so that was so good, y'all. I'm so happy nobody died. There has been no bloodshed as of yet in 11C. And I'm here for it, as far as our people go. So that was so good. Rosita on his ass, where's my daughter? And he think it's funny. Like, sir, do you not know who you dealing with? He didn't even care that he was finna die. He thought they was just finna kill him. But no, you playing with our kids, and we don't know where our kids at. Rosita went and grabbed that damn Walker Commonwealth soldier and had him bite his fucking face off. It was his eyeball. I thought he was biting his nose at first, but when he pulled back, it was his whole left eyeball. I was like, oh shit. You know, they've wasted no gore so far in 11C. It's been really good. We've seen soldiers being pulled into, eyeballs pulled out, all that good shit. So Rosita is still on edge because she wanted to know where her fucking daughter is at. We looking for all our kids. All we got is Herschel. So y'all know I say all 7 of our kids better be at Chuck E. fucking Cheese and not being terrorized. So Herschel wasn't at Chuck E. Cheese. I don't know what they doing with our other kids, but they better be at Chuck E. Cheese. Like, y'all not finna be mistreating our kids. I'm not playing. So with that dude was dead. He wouldn't tell us where the kids was at anyway. So Rosita was like, fuck that shit. So we only got 2 episodes of Walking Dead left after this. Episode 23 and episode 24 is the last episode of Walking Dead ever. It makes me so sad. I'm just curious as to how we're going to get our kids and how Daryl, Negan, and Maggie is going to separate from everybody and Carol. So Melissa's not going to be in Norman's spinoff at first, but she's going to pop up at some point. So I don't know what's going to happen with her now. But I'm very interested to see. Hopefully she stay with the kids. Hopefully Daryl, I don't know. We ain't going to even get into that. So the last part of the episode, after the showdown at Alexandria, bitch. What do I want to call it? The hidden rebellion of the Commonwealth is Mercer and his soldiers. Y'all, Eugene crying, that nigga sweating, he handcuffed. He just know he's finally met his maker and he's made his peace with it. They finna execute him. He just lost his case. He has been given the death penalty. Okay? That man has been sentenced to death as far as he know. He get down there and I'm like, I see Mercer. I know he not finna kill him. I know he not finna kill him. I know he not finna kill him. They snatched the thing off Eugene's head and Eugene is just literally shitting himself and just looking. And Mercer was like, damn, I don't want to mess it up. What did Mercer say? Time to fuck shit up. Or did he say, let's fuck shit up? No, he said, time to fuck shit up. Looking Eugene dead in his face. And then Eugene gave a confused look. But, of course, once Eugene, he caught it, of course. But, of course, he was confused because he just knew he was about to die. So, Mercer! Boy, when I tell you, I did a lot of screaming in this reaction video. RIP to headphone users. Y'all, anybody that's been watching me for years, y'all know I'm loud. But, for real, RIP to headphone users. People who watch me for the first time and subscribe to my website because my full content library, from Stranger Things to The Punisher to different movies to Game of Thrones to House of the Dragon. Yes, I do got House of the Dragon up there. My reaction to that up there. So far, my episode 1 reaction is up there. I'm about to get my episode 2 reaction up there before I do the podcast about it. It's like every time I try to do 2 podcasts a week, something happened. I could always get Walking Dead up on Monday, but I got to figure some shit out. But anyway, so, yeah, it's just been crazy. So, it's just been crazy. This Walking Dead journey. So, RIP to the headphone users. If you subscribe to my website, just know you don't really need headphones when you're listening to me. So if you do listen to me with headphones on, just don't turn them all the way up because I be very much loud over there. So that last part of that episode was a very good note to end on. And when I tell y'all I was going to watch episode 23 right after I watched 22, some family shit happened. It's a lot going on in my life right now. I was like, oh my God, some shit I can't even talk about. It was crazy. It's a lot of shit going on. So that's literally the only reason why I didn't watch 23. But my energy is so high just off watching 22. I know 23 finna beat my ass. We only got 2 episodes left. Y'all know I gave y'all the theory that we're going to get our kids back in 24. So the fact that we got Herschel back in 22 is not bad. We still need our other 6 kids too, but I don't know, y'all. So it's crazy. This episode was good as fuck. I love Walking Dead. It is my favorite show of all time, and it's just crazy. So I've been on here an hour and 14 minutes. I'm going to go on and get off now. I love you all. Goodbye.